Section B is made up of 8 questions, each worth 4 marks. And Section B complements the key topics you revise for Section A, so there's no new topical areas or major content that you need to focus on that's different to Section A. But what's different is that the emphasis is much more on your depth of knowledge and understanding of some of these particular areas. So there's 2 areas that I would specifically revise and seek to revise for Section B. The first is about your awareness of particular psychological skills and strategies for dealing with some of the common presenting issues that we discuss throughout the semester. So for example, things like how do you increase people's intrinsic forms of motivation and their engagement with particular activities such as sport or exercise. It might be about how do you help someone who experiences regular bouts of choking. What are some of the skills and strategies that you might implement in that regard? Or it might be how do you help somebody cope more adaptively with injury recovery and the rehabilitation process? Or even how do you set SMART goals? We talked a lot about SMART goals throughout your degree program for sure, but within the unit we talked about SMART goals. Everyone knows the acronym, but when it comes to the reality of actually doing it in practice, it's a pretty challenging thing. So I revisit some of that work and go, well, what is a SMART goal? And if I was to set SMART goals for myself or my clients, what would that look like? The other area I would like to focus on is your understanding of psychological theory, in particular in the areas of motivation and personality. So we talked a lot about motivation and understanding self-determination theory. So understanding the tenets of that theory would be important. And secondly, within personality, we talked a fair bit about McAdams' 3 levels. So understanding what are some of the similarities and differences between traits, characteristic adaptations, and also narrative identity. The key thing with Section B is being aware of those 2 areas, but importantly, like with any exam, is to read the question and try and answer and provide what it's asking for. So there's a lot of questions in Section B of those 8 questions that are asking you to identify and describe particular skills or strategies that you might use in terms of dealing with particular types of clients and some of their issues. But also it's asking for you to explain why you think that skill or strategy is particularly appropriate over other potential options. So really read the question, and really once you're done, sit back and go, have I really identified 4 key things in this particular answer? It's worth 4 marks, so we'll be looking for 4 things that really will flesh out that answer for you. If you're just identifying particular skills and strategies, you'll be getting some marks, but you won't be getting the full quota. And to help you revise for that, I would suggest revisiting some of the case studies that we've looked at throughout the semester for the previous assessment items. Going through those case studies for practice will help, and reflecting on some of the questions that look at case formulation, some of the presenting issues, and particularly what are some of the strategies that you would implement with those particular cases will help you revise a lot.